Welcome everyone. China's auto industry has been seeing robust growth recent years, and especially the NEV sector. So in today's InShanghai Roundtable, we'll explore more about the China's NEV sector. So let's start with a very simple question. Let's say if I want to buy a car for my family this year, would you like to recommend a new energy one or a petrol one?
It really depends on how you use a car. If your day-to-day needs are served well in a city where your distance of travel is pretty limited and you have access to charging facilities, then I would say by all means look at new energy vehicles. They're affordable, they're well-contented, and they're the most modern technology.
Electric car offers the latest technology and innovative features, such as a drive assistance system and also connected car features. So if customers are interested in having such kind of advanced technology, and I think that EV car is a better choice. But in some areas, the charging infrastructure may not so convenient. So the choice between EV car or petrol car depends on individual preference.
A shift to electric cars actually helps the China's NEV industry reach its milestone. So in your view, what kind of factors could be attributed to its rapid rise?
Investment in infrastructure, encouragement of companies to experiment with technologies now for almost 20 years. The availability of that infrastructure and the affordability of the EV makes it accessible to a large swath of the population. So I think that's kind of the basic the tailwinds.
Well, I wonder, as China's biggest car maker, how would you assess your market performance in last year and what's your expectation for this year?
Okay, Segmoto sold more than 1.2 million vehicles overseas in 2023. So the proportion of the EV car is nearly 24%. In Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, Chile, Thailand, and other countries, MG brands rank top 10 of the single brands. So by 2025, we aim to sell 1.5 million vehicles overseas.
When we're talking about China's NEV going abroad, it's not only about selling overseas, but also about manufacturing and materials. So in your view, will be a mainstream for Chinese car makers to expanding overseas by setting the plants overseas like SAIC?
As long as you can deliver affordably overseas. The motivation to build a factory overseas will be, number one, demand, number two, avoidance of tariffs, and number three, the reduction of costs associated with transportation and duties.
In the long term, our operations at plants overseas will be the ultimate approach for achieving global operations. But in the short to mid-term, I think the export will still be the main method.
What do you think of the geopolitical tensions, potential tariffs? These elements will have what kind of impact on the China's NEV sector?
China's great advantage in new energy vehicles is the ability to deliver them at an affordable price point. Right now, China has a tremendous advantage in their ability to scale batteries and the components of the electric vehicle. Now, geopolitics may slow down the rate at which some companies may go to certain markets because of trade and tariff barriers that may be placed. Those are being implemented mainly to protect the domestic industries that fear their loss of competitiveness as domestic manufacturers of automobiles in their country. The U.S. is behind on other than Tesla. The U.S. automakers are far behind in their electrification, ability to build affordable electric vehicles.
Segmoto closely checked the changing of the policy and also regulations overseas. So we promote a win-win cooperation with our partner and to ensure the security or the safety of our investments.
It is normal to encounter those challenges during the industry's growing up. We believe top-level negotiations, trade alliances, and operations at plants overseas and cooperation with the foreign counterparts will help to prevent the trade restrictions more or less.
Innovation is crucial for the development of NEV sectors. So any noteworthy trend that you observed in Chinese NEV industry, like the intelligence transformation or battery technology?
Yes, I think for sure. If you compare the types of vehicles that the Chinese manufacturers are producing to the electric vehicles that overseas companies are producing, you'll see far more technology content at a reasonable price point. The usage of apps in vehicle, even the use of data tools like sensors and autonomous driving features. If you buy an EV, you're buying a technology product.
Chinese car makers are exporting their technologies to the foreigners, which is in a reverse way as before. We can say that China's leading advantages in electrification and smartification do put some pressure on the traditional car market. And we can see more and more foreign automakers are thinking cooperation with Chinese ones.
Okay, thank you for everyone, and hope you're enjoying today's In Shanghai Roundtable. See you next time. Bye-bye.